recorded. I will call the meeting of the Wayne County Women's Commission to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Each member is acknowledging that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, and are attending the meeting via Zoom unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Member Carter?
Here.
Member Cash?
Here.
Member Crawford?
Here.
Member Dobb?
Here.
Member Douglas?
Good afternoon. Here.
Member English Barnhill?
Good afternoon. Here.
All right. Member Garcia? Okay. Member Gator?
Afternoon. Present.
Member Hughes? I don't believe she's on yet. All right. Member Joyner?
Present.
Member Lanto?
Good afternoon. Present.
Member Luckman?
Present.
Member Randall?
Present.
Member Roberts?
Present.
Member Shield?
Here.
Member Starr? Member Talley?
Here.
Member Tinsley Smith?
Here.
And Member Winton.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Just started, so I'm gonna have to get through it. So today's conversation is going to focus.
Oh, did we lose you, Madam Clerk?
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Next item, please.
All right, we're moving on to item B, approval of the May 13th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Moved.
It's been moved by Member Roberts. Can I get
Support.
I'm sorry, was that support by Member Cash?
Yes.
Okay, it has been moved and supported. All those in favor of moving the minutes, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion passes. Next item, please.
We're moving past item C, unfinished business, as there is none, and we're going to item D, new business. Item D1, election of the chairperson.
All right, so we have one member who has submitted interest to be the chairperson of our committee, and that is Carmen Carter. I think everyone should have received a statement of her interest in being the chair, and Member Carter, would you like to speak for a moment and introduce yourself and tell us why you'd like to be chair of the committee?
Absolutely. First of all, sorry I was not able to attend the first meeting due to the fact that I was in the air literally on my way to a graduation in Georgia. So thank you so much for providing that video via YouTube. I was able to review and kind of get an idea of where you are. I
was just going to ask everyone to please mute their lines, but please go ahead.
The Women's Commission is charged with implementing the commissioner's expectations to better the condition of women living in Wayne County. When we uplift women by giving them the education, the monetary resources, and economic tools to progressively thrive, we can assist women in becoming self-reliant, and that makes our communities more prosperous and sustainable. In conclusion, I do believe in you and this body, and I think that looking at the roster, many of you don't know me, but I've watched a number of you do things in this community much similar to the way I have in terms of leading the way and doing things that have not been done before, only because we were feeling the need to make something happen that would improve either the lives of other or predatory lending, for example, when I worked with the Detroit branch in NAACP, or with the Baptist Council when we were involved with the election process, or the PPE. My work in this community has been continuous for probably the last 41 years. And I care about people. I care about what happens to other people more than myself, actually. And I've been accused of that many times. And I've also been accused of being a hard worker. And a hard worker I am once I've been charged with whatever the task may be. I do deliver. In fact, my reputation is that don't tell Carmen, because if you don't want it done, it's going to be too late, because she's going to make it happen. And I had one leader in particular who was really shocked at some things he had asked me to do, and they all came to fruition. And I had heard that from other leaders that I've worked with in the past, such as Reverend Anthony and Hester Wheeler, and any number of presidents and leaders, because being in the media, I spoke directly to many of them, and I was involved in numerous meetings, and I watched many processes over the last 30 years in particular. So that's why I think I was a good leader, because of the outreach and the access that I have.
Great, thank you. Madam Clerk, I do have a procedural question, and I don't know if Agni or Pam, if you can answer this. Do we need to take any more nominations at this time, or is that, are we not doing that because we had set a deadline for submissions?
I wouldn't know the answer to that. I don't know if Pam is, I know Pam's on the line, but I don't know if she's.
I am on the line, but I am going to defer to Felicia, legal counsel.
Okay.
So through the chair, I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
I don't recall a vote being taken with regards to the process. If it was not voted on at the last meeting, I would say open it up now. If a vote was.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Member Randall, did you have a comment?
I am so sorry, but I am really praying that we do open it up from the floor, and as soon as we're able to do that, I have a nomination.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Felicia, did you want to finish?
So again, if the process was not voted on at the last meeting, then I would say yes, open it up at this meeting for additional nominations.
Okay. Okay, so we have heard from Member Carter for her interest in becoming chair of the Wayne County Women's Commission. At this time, do I have a, I'm sorry, was it Pam? Did you have something?
No, it's Sarah.
Yeah.
I thought that I made a motion at the last meeting about the process for the election, and I thought we did vote on that. Is that not reflected in the minutes? I just want to be true to the process.
No, I don't recall. Can we go back and check?
I didn't print.
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking because we did set a deadline for submissions.
If I may, I'm looking at the minutes.
Okay.
The motion that was made by Member Roberts that was approved was a motion to set a deadline of May 27th for members to submit written interest for position of chair and vice chair, and to schedule the meeting for today. So
Okay.
If that counts as.
So in addition to that, unless this board makes a motion now to open it up and extend that deadline, I would say that no additional nominations would be had. But again, it's the discretion of the body to determine whether or not you want to reopen the process.
Okay. So,
whatever the majority
yeah.
of the people wants to do.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion to open it up for nominations? Member Randall? Okay.
Thank you, Chair. I make a motion to open up the nominations for chair of the Wayne County Women's Commission.
Okay, a motion has been made by Member Randall.
So moved.
Okay, and supported by Member Gator. So we'll take a roll call vote on that motion to open it up for nominations. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a vote?
Member Carter,
My answer would be no. We must adhere to deadlines and deliver as promised on any particular issue that we put on the table. Everyone that's present here today had an opportunity to submit, and I think that if they were interested, they would have. That email went out a week ago. It's a reminder that went out, and I don't want to unnecessarily belabor the point just because we have the power to just negate what has happened in the past.
okay, I have you down as a no. Member Cash,
No, I agree that everyone had a chance, and it was in our minutes that the process was set.
okay. Member Crawford,
I do have a question before I give my vote. The question I have is, besides Member Carter, did we have a roll call of everyone else present at the meeting to discuss the motion that Member Roberts made?
yes, I believe at the last meeting, the only member who was absent was Member Carter, and as well, oh, there were two members absent, Member Carter and Member Garcia.
Okay. And did Member Garcia provide communication prior to the deadline, or just make an acknowledgement that she would not be present for the meeting?
No.
Sorry, I hear background noise possibly for someone else.
Yes, thank you. Can everyone mute themselves if you're not speaking? Just there's too many people on this meeting. Thank you.
No, sorry, I was saying no.
The answer is no. Remember, say that who was the person who was not present, did they have the opportunity to respond or provide confirmation that they would not be present to the meeting?
I did not receive any communication from Member Garcia, but she was on all of the emails that I have sent to all the members.
Okay, then my vote would be no. We've had opportunity and time. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Dobb?
No.
Member Douglas?
No.
Member English Barnhill? Oh, she's not here. Oh, she is, sorry. Member Garcia is not here. Member Gator?
Yes.
Member Hughes is excused. Member Joyner?
No.
Member Lanto?
No.
Member Luckman?
I agree with the other members that had pointed out we had sufficient time, sufficient opportunity. Communication was sent out several times to remind everyone to submit their interest. So I would vote no, just to honor the process of meeting deadlines.
Thank you. Member Randall?
Yes.
Member Roberts? Did we lose Member Roberts?
I was on mute. I'm sorry. I'm gonna vote no to honor the process. That was
Thank you. Member Shield?
No.
Member Starr?
No.
Member Talley?
No.
Member Tinsley Smith?
no.
And Member Winton?
No.
Okay, motion fails.
Okay. So now we are moving back to the nomination of Member Carter for position of chair. Can I get a motion to nominate Member Carter?
Motion Winton.
It's been moved by Member Winton. Can I get a second?
Second.
Member Smith.
It's been moved and supported. And now we will take a vote to elect our chair. Sorry, I just got a little distracted. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a vote?
Member Carter?
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
Member Carter, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. There was distracted. Repeat the question.
We're doing a vote to elect you as chairperson.
Oh, yes, I vote for myself. Okay, yes, I do vote for myself. I think that I'm prepared.
Okay, Member Cash?
Or
Member Crawford?
Support to Carter.
Member Dobb?
Yes.
Member Douglas?
Yes.
Member English Barnhill?
Support.
Member Gator?
Yes.
Member Joyner?
Yes.
Member Lanto?
Yes.
Member Luckman?
Yes.
Member Randall?
No.
Member Roberts?
Yes.
Member Shield?
Yes.
Member Starr?
Yes.
Member Talley?
Yes.
Member Tinsley Smith?
Yes.
And Member Winton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, congratulations, Chairwoman.
Thank you. Thank you much to all of you. I'm overwhelmingly feeling gratitude for such an honor to serve. And I will do my best to make us all make a difference.
Great, thank you. Member Randall.
At this time, I would like to just make a statement to our chair, Member Carter. Member Carter, good luck, congratulations. But I do want you to know that every possession of everything that you possess, that you described about yourself, I believe that every woman on this commission have those exact same qualities. Good luck and thank you.
And thank you. And that's why I think that we're going to be a winning team.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to working with you as well.
I've got another procedural question for our clerks. So at this time, since we do have a chairperson of the committee, should she take over, or do you want me to continue running the meeting?
The chairperson.
Okay. All right. Well, I will hand it off to Chairwoman Carter.
Well, thank you so much. And thanks again to all of the women of this team that is bound for greatness. At this time, we want to move forward with the election of our vice chairperson. And we only had one member to apply for that position. And her name is, can you provide that for me?
It was Member Roberts, Sarah Roberts.
Member Roberts. Are you here?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, so you applied, and we are going to give you an opportunity to share with us why you should be the vice chair of this committee.
Yes, thank you so much.
Should we put a motion on the floor first and then have her speak to the motion?
Okay, yes. All right,
I'll move.
Okay, let's ask for a motion to
I'll support.
Chairperson. And so, yeah, you guys went ahead, great. All right, thank you so much. Go ahead at this time and provide a statement relative to you wanting to be vice chair.
Well, thank you. Well, as I shared at our first meeting, our last meeting is, and Chairman Carter, I'm not sure if you knew this or you were able to watch from the meeting, but the idea of the Women's Commission is something that I came up with last summer and felt really passionately about in terms of creating an opportunity for women to have more of a voice in the decisions that impact their lives. and to provide opportunities for more women to have the opportunity to be leaders, you know, in another way. And when I reached out to Chairwoman Bell about the commission, I was very clear that I did not want to chair the commission or really be in a leadership position, that I wanted to help create opportunities for other women. But in the absence of anyone else wanting to serve in the vice chair position, I decided to step up and to run because I think we have a tremendous opportunity. But I want to help make sure that we set a really strong organizational foundation for this commission to set us up for success. And I really look forward to working with you, Chairwoman Carter, and I'm hoping we can get together soon and sit down and talk about some ideas that I have and your ideas as well. But I think making sure that we set up a strong foundation is going to help us with our success in being able to reach our goals, and putting together some processes and plans for moving forward in terms of how we're going to be organized as a commission, how we're going to make decisions as a commission, how we're going to operate as a commission, and the types of opportunities and activities that we want to work on to support and uplift women throughout Wayne County. And so I, you know, humbly am stepping up to help do that and to work collaboratively with everyone on this Women's Commission, because everyone is so talented and has, I think, some amazing things to offer.
Thank you for your comments, and I did read your bio, and I'm happy that and pleased that you have a legal background, because I do believe you can help in such a way that you just presented. At this time, we'd like to have a motion to accept Sarah Roberts as Sarah Roberts as our vice chair.
And through the chair, there was a motion made by Member Shield and supported by Member Dobb.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So we can start with let's start with Melissa Dobb with your vote.
I think we would have the clerk call the vote. Is that right, Commissioner Dobb?
Yes.
That was,
yeah.
okay, go ahead.
Madam Chair, you can just have the Madam Clerk do the roll call vote for us.
Okay. All right. So Cynthia Douglas, your vote?
Oh, no, you, Madam Chair, you can just say, Madam Clerk, please call the roll for a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Madam Clerk.
And then she'll read off the names.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll for the vote for vice chair.
Right. Chair Carter?
Yes. I will say support.
Member Cash?
Support.
Member Crawford?
Support.
Member Dobb?
Yes.
Member Douglas?
Yes.
Member English Barnhill?
Support.
Member Gator?
Yes.
Member Joyner?
Yes.
Member Lanto?
Yes.
Member Luckman?
Yes, and I wanted to say thank you to the ladies for stepping up to offer to serve.
Member Randall?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Member Randall?
Yes. Yeah.
Member Roberts?
Yes.
Member Shield?
Aye.
Member Starr?
Yes.
Member Talley?
Yes.
Member Tinsley Smith?
Yes.
And Member Winton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so the election has proven that the new vice or the inaugural vice president or vice chair of the Women's Commission
Thank you.
is in play. Thank you so much for supporting that nomination to all of our team. Has everyone had a chance to review the Women's Commission bylaws? And are they prepared to make any statements or suggestions about the bylaws at this point?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I believe our council, Felicia Johnson, was prepared to go through the bylaws with us. And then if any members have any questions, they can raise their hand or just speak up and ask if we want to go ahead and do that.
Does anyone have any comments or questions or concerns?
Would you like a motion first before we discuss?
I'll move to approve the Women's Commission bylaws.
I'll second.
Afternoon, through the ladies, through the chair, please. My name is Ebony Adams. I work alongside Felicia Johnson, who is our commission counsel for Wayne County Commission. I am assistant commission counsel alongside Mary Parisian. You guys will get very familiar with us. I'm very excited to have you all on this commission, a great set of ladies, and you guys are going to do some really great work. And I just wanted to provide a quick introduction and let you all know this is your baby. These bylaws, this is your Bible, this is the gospel. We set something together to provide a framework because we're kind of in the primitive stages of things, but please understand that there is a lot of latitude and there's some room to make some changes to the bylaws if there are some areas that don't quite fit the group or the goal of the group. I also want to highlight, if you all have the bylaws pulled up, a lot of the language.
I don't have, what day were they emailed?
They should be attached to the agenda. Member Randall.
I printed everything out.
Because we can send another copy over. Remember what I was going to say was a lot of the information in the bylaws comes directly from our ordinance, our Wayne County Commission ordinance. So you probably saw some of the information before. And I will say as a general rule, if there is information in the bylaws that comes directly from that ordinance, substantively, it should stay the same. We shouldn't be doing too much amending to that language. And I wanted to highlight a few sections that are really important and that we should probably stay true to form with those. If you want to do any changes to those, it should probably just be a wording or a little verbiage here or there, but it should, for the most part, remain the same. All of Article 3, members, powers, and duties, that should pretty much stay the same. This kind of lays out why we're all here today, what our function is, what purpose we serve for the Wayne County Commission. And without, doing too much change, and I would advise probably not to, but again, please, if we could keep that pretty much the same. Section 4.4.
Just on section 3, Ebony, I'm pretty clear this is like word for word out of the ordinance.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Just no, yeah.
Yes, yep. So, and we want to kind of take heed to this here. Okay, this is the gospel. Section 4.4, compensation. We're uncompensated. Okay, we're doing good work. A lot of good work goes uncompensated, right? But for the most part, we're going to leave that the way it is as well. Jumping down, section 5.1, 5.7. These also should stay about the same. If you look at 5.1 specifically, this deals with the term. That also comes directly from the ordinance. Obviously, April 15th will be more important going forward because we're kind of starting up now. But secretarial and those treasurer duties, Wayne County Commission is going to step in and help. So that's one less thing that you all have to worry about. But for the most part, if you want to take away and add to the other portions amongst yourself, feel free. If you do have questions and concerns, I mean, even in the slightest bit, we are here for some assistance. Mary, Felicia, and myself. But really excited to have you ladies here. And I know you're going to do really, really great work. Look forward to it.
I just have one comment about this. Fourth. Excuse me? Is someone else having something to say? Oh, all right. I will proceed to say that looking over the list of concerns that we are wanting to address, did want to add senior citizens. I did not see that unless I missed it. If we can just add that, I think that that's a pretty great list to pull from and to decide how we're going to move forward on any one of these items. But I think that if we don't put it in there, that it will come up at a later time. So we can start off with that. If I can make a motion to do that, or someone make the motion to do that, if they're in agreement. There's a lot.
Can you repeat exactly what the motion is for? I know you said senior citizens, but what is it that you wanted to add? I didn't understand. You can clarify.
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. We have a number of issues that are listed in this document about the things that are relative to women that we want to address, such as childcare, entrepreneurship, but also seniors. Our seniors are suffering in this in Wayne County. And I just think if we added that or consider adding it, that it would be then inclusive and that we don't have to worry about addressing that or having them to not feel like they were included. We do have a large number of seniors in Wayne County. And so I just want us to remember that they could have issues that may come before us.
But don't we have to vote on the bylaws first?
For just a moment, I just wanted to, my name is Mary Parisian, to this honorable body. I just wanted to comment on that very quickly. So there are going to be a plethora of issues pertaining to women throughout Wayne County. The language in the bylaws is specifically broad, not just including what's in here, but it's open enough to include other things such as senior services as well. So it may not be necessary at this time to include that language because it's already baked in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then I'm pleased with that. Thank you.
I can just, I understand Chairwoman Carter's point of specifying seniors because we tend to often forget them, and maybe including that as a category would make it a little more intentional. So I don't mind passing a motion, and I'm sorry, I'm getting used to the passing motion way of doing things, but I don't mind passing motion to have that voted on.
I support that as well.
Point of information through the chair. I am just asking, are you speaking on Article 3.1, the powers of duty in A, to add senior citizens to that?
I believe it is. Let me sit back. Yes, that's where the list of items are that we want to address. Yes, and that would be where.
Okay, thank you for clarification.
So my understanding is just to add something in there about the inclusivity of seniors within our population, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I would pass a motion to have that included in the bylaws.
Madam Chair, I would not like to have that specifically stated in our bylaws. We are a commission focusing specifically on women, not senior citizens issues. So I think it's a little broad, unless, we're saying specifically senior citizen women. But I think that we're kind of branching off in a different direction than what this commission was formed for. So I would make a motion not to include that language in the bylaws.
I'd like to make a statement. Is it okay for me to do that right now regarding this?
Go ahead.
Okay, to me, it includes women of childbearing age, senior citizens, women that are 17, so it's already including it.
Okay.
If we're talking about employment, earning, economic dependence, training, childcare, there's so many seniors that are taking care of their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren. Therefore, to me, it automatically includes, says health, healthcare. Senior citizens are in all of those. I don't think that this says, oh, this is only limited to people 14 to 60. It seems like it is talking about all women.
Okay, well, we don't need to belabor that point. I think your points were well made and not and not to cause a long drawn out about it. So we can proceed with the.
Okay, through the chair. Through the chair.
Included. Yes.
Yeah, I just have a question. I know we're reviewing the bylaws right now. Are we gonna do a motion for each change that we're doing? Or are we gonna do a collective thing once we figure out what all the different changes are? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what our process is as we're reviewing the bylaws. Are we gonna do a motion for each change we want to do, or are we gonna do a collective once we figure out all the changes that need to be made, if there's any? I just want to be clear.
Well, I would be more inclined to table that and come back with and address that when we all can kind of take a look at the bylaws. And now that there's a particular question or suggestion that it may be reviewed, and we can put that on the agenda for next meeting.
Okay, so we're not voting on the bylaws today.
No.
Okay.
Unless Melissa, you think we need to.
Well, we have made a motion to approve the bylaws today.
Okay. Well, let's proceed with that notion. I don't think it's
okay.
harmful.
I know does our vice chair have any input on this?
Thank you. So we're a work in progress, right? And we will work our way through this in terms of getting motions and understanding all of that stuff. I am in agreement that I believe using the term women is inclusive of all ages, but a compromise that we might want to add a change into section A of 3.1 under powers and duties would be to add elder care. But we don't have to do that either. But if members felt that that addressed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard American Eagle with service to Washington, D.C.
So would that, I'm sorry, Sarah, would that be in 3.1A? Maybe after like childcare?
We could add elder care.
Elder care.
But there's no motion on that. That is an idea putting forward. It's okay if we don't want to do that. But I am wondering from a procedural perspective, if the will of the body is they want to take more time to review these bylaws.
Okay.
There's a number of things that we can do. One, we're going to vote no on the approval of the bylaws today. Two, make a motion to table the vote on the bylaws till the next meeting. And another option is through the chair, we could appoint a small committee to review the bylaws and bring information back, or we can all just take the time to read the bylaws and provide feedback for the next meeting to vote on them.
Thank you, Sarah. That's all. I just wanted to clear what the process was. I'm just was a little confused. So
I think we're figuring it out as we go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I have a question. Could we vote to approve the bylaws today, just so that we have bylaws in place for this commission, and then put together a small committee like Sarah, like you just suggested, to bring suggested changes back, so that as we move forward with what we're doing, the next meeting, maybe the group will have some suggested changes for us to vote on. But this way, if we vote on it today, we have bylaws in place for our commission to work from.
I concur.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. Just a procedural question, Felicia or Ebony, if we were to put together a small group to review the bylaws, is that like subject to the Open Meetings Act? Does that have to be a public meeting
Oh, that's a good question.
if we're under a quorum?
It does not.
Okay, that's great. And I would volunteer to be on that. So.
I'll be on it too if no one
I'll
else
be on that.
wants to.
Member Douglas would like to be on that.
Okay. So Dobb, Roberts, and so just for clarification, what I am hearing the will of the body is that we are going to move forward on the motion to approve the bylaws, take that vote. We will then, somebody will make a motion to create a bylaws review committee, which will include members Dobb, Roberts, and Douglas, and anyone else who wants to be on that. And then we will be charged with reviewing and providing any changes or recommendations to the Women's Commission at our next meeting. Does that sound right?
That sounds great.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
This is Member Crawford. That's exactly why I raised my hand. Thank you, Member Roberts.
Thank you. Okay.
Question. My question is, the people that are going to be on this on the committee, are they going to be open for the rest of us to maybe give them information or tidbits or how we feel? So before they come next time, they'll have some of our information also.
Yes, please.
And I know that
We'll send an email.
yes, and I know we talked last time about having phone numbers and email addresses provided to each member. Is that something that can happen and might facilitate the opportunity to meet off record?
That's been sent to us.
I didn't see that. Oh,
It did come with the agenda.
okay.
I'm laughing because I couldn't find the bylaws, so I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at myself.
I don't have the numbers, but okay, then I'll look for them. All right, well, thank you. Then that settles that. All right,
So, Madam Clerk, I think do we need a roll call vote on the approval of the bylaws?
We can. There was a motion made and supported to approve the bylaws as written. Is that what we're going ahead and voting on right now?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start at the top. Yvonne Cash, what is your position?
Support.
Okay. And Summer Crawford,
Support.
Melissa Dobb,
Yes.
Cynthia Douglas,
Yes.
Ryan English Barnhill,
Yes.
Cindy Garcia, Latanya Gator,
Yes.
Ebony Hughes, Chelsea Nanto,
Yes.
Molly Lugman,
Yes.
Regina Randall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Thank you. Sarah Roberts,
Yes.
Linda Shield,
Aye.
Mary Starr,
Yes.
Tina Talley,
Yes.
Carla Kinsey Smith,
Support.
Angela Winton.
Yes.
All right, thank you all.
And Chair, I believe we skipped Member Joyner.
Okay.
Madam Chair, can we have the clerk take the vote, please? That's normal process for the committee meeting. So our clerk will just call off the names and she'll take the votes for us.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So are we going to do the roll call again?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is to approve the bylaws as written. Chair Carter,
Yes, I support.
Member Cash,
Support.
Member Crawford,
Support.
Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Support.
Member English Barnhill,
Support.
Member Gator,
Yes.
Member Joyner,
Yes.
Member Lanto,
Yes.
Member Luckman,
Yes.
Member Randall,
Yes.
Member Roberts,
Yes.
Member Shield,
Aye.
Member Starr,
Yes.
Member Tally,
Yes.
Member Tinsley Smith,
Support.
and Member Winton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I would like to make a motion to create a Wayne County Women's Commission Bylaws Review Committee.
Support.
That will include members Dobb, I'm sorry, I wrote it down. Member Roberts, myself, and Member Douglas, unless, is there anyone else that wants to participate?
And
Support.
Star.
Member Starr, you'd like to be on the committee?
Yes, please.
Okay, and Member Starr. And we will review the bylaws with input from the other members of the commission and provide these recommendations at our next scheduled Women's Commission.
Support. Member Douglas.
Madam Chair,
That
so at this point, you can say it's been moved and supported and then have the clerk call the roll.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to establish a committee to review the bylaws and make suggestions. Open to other member participation. That will be communicated in the form of an email, a written kind of format. Are we okay with that?
And then, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a vote?
Madam,
Chair Carter,
go ahead. Can you please proceed with the count? Madam Clerk?
yes. Chair Carter,
Yes. I
Member
support.
Cash,
Support.
Member Crawford,
Support.
Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Yes.
Member English Barnhill,
Support.
Member Gator,
Support.
Member Joyner,
Support.
Member Lanto,
Support.
Member Luckman,
Support.
Member Randall,
Support.
Member Roberts,
Support.
Member Shield,
Aye.
Member Starr,
Yes.
Member Tally,
Yes.
Member Tinsley Smith,
Support.
Member Winton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay.
So we now have a committee assigned to reviewing the bylaws. Thank you so much for your votes. Next on our committee agenda will be to discuss some of the first issues to be highlighted in the Women's Commission. Does anyone have any input at this point as to what their thoughts may be on moving forward on a particular subject matter based on what's in 3.1?
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Dobb. I think that one of maybe our first issue we should work on is the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had on women in the workforce, just because, you know, it's the most timely thing. Hopefully we're coming out of the pandemic. People are getting back to work. We want to make sure that women are going to recover from this, and what can we do? What can Wayne County government do to support women who lost their jobs or, you know, had to take pay cuts and such during the pandemic? So that's my idea.
I would like to support that, and I would just like to add, the state of Michigan did a report that I can send out to everyone called Women in the Workforce, and it looked at some initial impacts of COVID-19 on women, specifically in the workforce, but they are expanding that report. I'm not exactly sure when it's coming out. I think they're calling it more of a community report, and I believe it's also something that the state Michigan Women's Commission, like has their eye on. And federal money will be coming to Wayne County specifically related to COVID. And as Commissioner Dobb expressed, it touches so many of the issues that we care about and that are in our ordinance and in our bylaws, that I really do think it makes sense for us to start digging into this issue so that we can not only make policy recommendations, but budgetary recommendations to the Wayne County Board of Commissioners on how some of this money can be spent to support and help women throughout Wayne County.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, yes, this is Member Crawford. One thing that I would like to make, I don't know if it's a motion, but in regards to housing, we have the federal moratorium that's about to lift, and we have a lot of illegal evictions that are about to start taking place. Also, in regards to housing, there's a major situation in regards to the SARA funding and how a lot of women in our communities are not aware of the proper process to apply for the SARA funding. And how those dollars are being tracked. So there's really no accountability to that. And the last thing that I would say is with the evictions right now are very high with 36 district court. And right now it's remaining on records for up to 10 years. So landlords are going back 10 years, which is preventing major housing issues for those who are seeking the ability to rent, which is longer than a bankruptcy on a person's file. So those are some major things I like to present or speak about in regards to housing. Thank you.
Just one comment. I mean, the first part of what you're expressing around housing on the moratorium, I mean, that's related to COVID, right? I mean, the moratorium. So I think it would fall underneath that.
Yes. So yes, those tie in, yes.
Yeah, and I think that's a good place to start. And we're going to have to figure out and, work with everyone on this. But, I appreciate the effort that was being put into this agenda to try to help move us forward. I'm not saying that I think it's necessarily premature that we're already determining an issue, but we don't even have a structure yet, right? We need to figure out committees and how we might want to do that. But I think it's okay to move forward if everyone's in agreement to focus on COVID and how it's impacted women. And then we can break it down into some committee work to more specific areas like housing as an example.
Sarah, I was just going to say exactly what you said. I think the impact of COVID on women, and then maybe make some subcommittees like the workplace, housing, childcare, food assistance, and so forth. But yeah, I think today we can just have a very brief discussion. I know we are going on 1 o'clock very soon, so we don't have to make any decisions right now. We could just
I will
discuss further at our next meeting.
I would suggest that if I may make the suggestion, is to gather the facts surrounding the issue on housing and the workplace and things of that sort, the track that you already mentioned, Melissa, and the rest of us. Also, if we have information that we know would help this committee, I'd like to have today, if we could, a committee to address the COVID issues surrounding women. And so Melissa and Summer, you guys, if you could work together in some way and come up with a sketch of what that should look like, maybe we can begin that work next week when at least everyone's had the opportunity to submit whatever whatever findings they may have they had on. But we do want to look at official kind of documents and the science of things, and not have it positioned to be torn apart. So that's the key. And my vice chair, Sarah Roberts, probably can oversee that committee to a degree because of her legal background and her work already in that area. If anyone else would like to join that committee, if someone would motion to establish that meeting, that would be a great start for us.
Yeah, if I can make a recommendation, if there is support within this body to make a determination that the first issue that we will focus on is the impacts of COVID-19 on women, and get that set, I think we can have some discussions offline about what that might look like, and then come back and make some recommendations, just sort of individually, or, you know, on what that might look like, and make that a part of our agenda item next week. Because I think we should all take some time and think through, well, what do we want this to look like? And, you know, how do we want to gather this information? I see this body as having the power to convene experts, and, you know, and what does that look like, and putting together a list of who has been studying this issue. Are there leaders within Wayne County government that have information for us, and start working, you know, on a plan of how we'd want to approach this and break it down.
Right. Does anyone feel like they have the expertise and the wherewithal to create at least a shell, so we'll have a working document the next time we meet? Anyone volunteer to bring that information forth next meeting? Melissa?
Well, I do like Sarah's suggestion where, you know, today we could, you know, if everyone's in agreement that we want to work on the impact of COVID-19 on women, and then we kind of take the time individually to maybe brainstorm which issues we think are most important, and which issues that maybe are our own individual expertise, areas of expertise. And then next meeting, we come together and, you know, say, I don't know, Member Crawford seems to want to work on housing. So, you know, she can kind of present some information on that. And, you know, I don't know, Member Cash, what she would care about. I'm just going to make up childcare. But and then members can get together. If there were two members who wanted to work on housing, then we can kind of form some subcommittees at that time.
Well, I'm suggesting that we move forward with the COVID, and that the subcommittee would be the housing piece. Are there any experts on this commission that have information or can speak to the subject matter?
I think that there is, I would like to focus more than just housing issues, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
If you could, if you and Summer, since these are two things that you brought up, I think it would be a wonderful idea if you guys kickstart us. Not that it's going to be everything that we need, because we're not the experts necessarily, but we can look at the information and determine among ourselves what's the course of action to attack these things. First, with the facts on just what are the issues. I mean, because I hear all the time about the issues with women on, you know, with COVID on the job, but it's always generic. What are they saying? I personally, I do not know. I've had issues on the job, but I'm just one person. I don't represent all, naturally, but I think that's an important conversation. So let's get it started. And we you know, we got a year here, and the funding is there. We are all lay people to a certain degree in certain areas, so we're not going to have all the answers, but we can put our best foot forward to get the answers we need to make progress. So if I can ask you to do that, that would be great.
I would I'm making a motion to make the first issue to be highlighted and worked on by the Wayne County Women's Commission to be the impacts of COVID-19 on women in Wayne County. And that we individually take the time between now and the next meeting to think about this issue and what we may be personally interested in, and bring those recommendations back to the committee at our next meeting to have a discussion and flush out organizationally how we want to approach working on this issue.
Support, Lonto.
Right.
So
Does the clerk need to take a vote on this decision? We need to.
Are we doing a roll call vote?
Can
or
we
are
just
doing
do a voice
vote?
vote on that?
Support.
Am I allowed to lead that? I'm not sure.
I think we can just do a voice vote.
Support.
So all those in favor?
Support.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Was no
All right,
discussion.
so that may be the first issue that's highlighted.
All right, this is Pam. So, Madam Chair, you should also ask if anyone is opposed or if there are any abstentions so that we can record those.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone in opposition to moving forward with this committee to address the impact of women in COVID-19? Or any abstention? All right. So,
Motion passes.
okay, thank you. All right.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, there were a couple of hands up as well before the vote was taken, and I don't know if they had questions about the particular topic, and I'm not sure if anybody's monitoring the hands up as well.
Who
If you can
monitors
see
the
them.
hands up? I
Okay.
see your hand now. Who monitors that?
That's what I was asking.
I don't know.
You would, Madam Chair.
Oh, I would? Okay. Mhm. I'm sorry. Summer, if you go ahead and you have your hand up.
Yes, this is Member Crawford. Just wanted to thank you again for everyone and all of our hard work together and collectively. As the bylaws are being reviewed and through the committees, I don't know if this would be the time to think about perhaps we can bring it to our next meeting, but to make sure that this is an effective working committee and commission board, perhaps have a limit of the amount of committees that one could join, and then or have like the top 5 committees in which the members have the ability to join, and or have an umbrella. If you're on housing, then housing will consist of X, Y, and Z committees. If you're under child care development, women, maternal issues, this would be that committee. So we can also at some point think about how many committees we would like to have, and if there is going to be a limited amount that a member could participate. That's it. Thank you.
Those are excellent points.
Madam Chair, there is a section in the bylaws that does address that.
Mhm.
So it's I believe it's Article 7. Thank you.
All right. We review that. Go ahead, Member Barnhill.
Good afternoon, ladies. Mine was just more of a nuance regarding the language of our COVID-19 efforts. It was just more so women and our response to COVID-19 that we are just framing this out as we want to help women's recovery from COVID-19. And so it was just, it was a minor language thing, but it wasn't necessarily that we would be studying the impacts of COVID-19 on women, but more so working towards the recovery of women to COVID-19. That was my comment.
Absolutely. Great comment. Would you also like to join Member Dobb and Member Crawford on that particular committee?
Sorry, I'm still working the mute button over here. And so was that a specific committee, or was that an all hands on deck, and then we would divide up our subcommittees to approach that? I guess that's where I'm looking for clarity. I thought like that was our first issue or initiative, and then our various subcommittees will work towards that greater goal, like a housing or economic or childcare, kind of under the umbrella of a COVID-19 response. And I open that up to everyone to make sure that that was the correct understanding.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the clarification, because it is understanding the impacts so that we can work towards recommendations for helping women in recover from the impacts of COVID-19. But Madam Chair, I think we agreed in the last motion to hold off from forming any committees today, so that the members of the commission have time to kind of think through this stuff and provide recommendations at the next meeting.
But shouldn't there be a collection of the various reports or statements, so that it's at least it's all collected in one spot? I see it quite daunting if everyone brings 20,000 pages to the commission.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's more of bringing ideas of how we want to approach the issue. We've got to figure out organizationally how we're going to do this. And I think we all need to kind of take some time to process and think through that, so that we can provide recommendations as a whole body to each other, so that we get it right.
Okay. All right. So we'll do our homework.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm comfortable with that. All right. So is there any other subject matters that we'd like to highlight for the next, I would say the next 2 or 3 months? Is there any other ideas? Because obviously we could very well end up with a committee next week, but we also would, if possible, could address another issue, so that the rest of us are not idle.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I don't want to stop this wonderful discussion, but I do want to be mindful of everyone's time. We are at 1:10, and we do need to discuss meeting schedule for the rest of the year, or at least determine when we're going to meet next time, when our next meeting is.
Okay.
So I think
through the chair, I'm so sorry to interrupt. This is Ebony Adams. I did also want to add to that. We see each other's pretty faces here on Zoom. There are some laws in place with remote meetings that will sunset this month. So we are not quite sure if we'll be meeting in person the next time. It's possible. So it's imperative under the Open Meetings Act that we set a policy in place today before everyone leaves, stating whether or not we're going to allow remote meetings, and that should be done in compliance with section 6.6 and 6.7 of the Open Meetings Act. It is imperative that that takes place today. So I just wanted to throw that out there to give us a little more guidance. That's pretty imperative. And I'll just shut up now. Thank you.
Okay, I see a hand that went down, correct? Or Member Barnhill, go ahead, and then we'll go on to the vote.
Oh, thank you. I did want to just make note or just make comment on the record regarding the lessons from COVID-19 and virtual meetings. I would love it if we could continue an option for virtual attendance. And I'm assuming that we will vote on that later, but just the lesson that things can be accomplished in a virtual space, especially with so many of us being busy, but still wanting to make time and add our voices to this important commission.
All right, well, let's proceed as Member Adams has suggested that is required that we vote on whether or not we're going to continue the meeting.
so. Ebony, what would be the proper motion to do for that?
Actually,
Or,
we could just, as long as we have a motion allowing for the remote meetings in compliance with Open Meetings Act until further notice, or, you know, a time period that you all feel comfortable and designate, at least to just bridge the gap between this meeting and the next.
I'll move that.
I will second that. What the motion, that motion of what she said, right? So do we need to do a roll call vote on that?
On that, we probably should.
Okay.
Commissioner, thank you.
So we can have the clerk to move forward with that motion. And that,
Okay,
with
that
the
has
vote on that motion to have an open meeting virtually.
All right. Chair Carter,
Support.
Member Cash,
Support.
Member Crawford,
Support, and also I'm going to be switching to another device. So if there's another vote, just give me a moment. I'll be right back. But yes, I support.
thank you for letting me know. Member Dobb,
Yes.
Member Douglas,
Support.
Member English Barnhill,
Support.
Member Gator,
Yes.
Member Joyner,
Yes.
Member Lanto,
Yes.
Member Luckman.
I'm sorry, my connection broke for a couple seconds. Can you just reiterate what the final statement was that we're voting on?
It's a motion to continue remote meetings. Yes.
To continue remotely, like that.
Okay, so you're a yes vote?
Yes, to support virtual meetings, yes.
Thank you. Member Randall,
Abstain.
Member Roberts,
Yes.
Member Shield,
Aye.
Member Starr,
Support.
Member Talley,
Yes.
Member Tinsley Smith,
Support.
and Member Winton.
Yes.
Motion passes, and I have Member Randall as abstaining.
Well, thank you, Madam Clerk, for that vote. I guess it is now adopted that we should continue with the remote meetings. If we can move forward now to deciding when is the best time for meetings, is this day, Thursday, at this time, a good time for everyone? If you have suggestions, let's open that up now. Today is Thursday at 12 noon. Is that a good day, or does anyone have any suggestions for days or other times?
Madam Chair, are you suggesting we meet every week, or are you looking at once a month or twice a month?
I think we need to meet, I would suggest we meet twice a month until we get some things established, at least get the committees established, but then don't sit idle, because right now we'll sit idle because the only thing we're kind of looking at right now is COVID-19. And I think that we're going to have to, it would behoove us to move a little faster coming out the gate. So if we can meet twice a month for at least the next 2 months, and then scale down to once a month. It's only a suggestion.
Okay, through the chair, just so I'm clear, I know our bylaws said we need to meet 6 times a year, 6 out of 12 months. So, okay, I just want to be clear what we're voting on for meetings, given that in the bylaws, we said 6 times a year.
I believe it said a minimum of 6 times. Minimum of 6 times, it said.
Okay.
And if you're on a committee, you probably will do a little bit more.
I thought we voted on this last meeting that we would be meeting was it the second Thursday of every month or the first Thursday? Because I had locked that into my calendar.
Mhm.
And if I remember correctly, we had already voted it would be once a month.
Once a month, okay. Once a month at 12 noon. Correct?
Yes, I believe that we had already voted and agreed on that on the last meeting.
Okay. Okay, so then that's established.
So just a
But
comment.
this is on today's agenda, so that's why I addressed it.
Yeah, and just a comment, I mean, we can always schedule more meetings if necessary, right, if things come up. But as a standard sort of procedural practice, the once a month, I think is good, in my opinion.
Any other comments? Okay. Hearing no responses, we'll continue as is. Are there any other comments, public comments on anything at this point? Now is the time.
Madam Chair, so for public comments, we need to ask the clerk to unmute everyone's lines so that if there's any member.
Sorry, Commissioner Dodd, we skipped over item E, which is such
Oh,
other
okay.
matters as may be properly submitted before the board. So if anyone has any other matters they want to submit before the board, now is the time to do so.
Yes, through the chair, I would like to say something real quick. I'm a council person in the city of Romulus. We received a resolution from Wayne County Commissioners in support of abolishment of the tampon tax. And just wanted to let everybody know, in Romulus, I made the motion in the city of Romulus and it was passed unanimously, where we also did a resolution in support of that tampon tax as well. I wanted everybody to know, and please let the commissioners know if somebody know that we did pass that unanimously in the city of Romulus on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was actually my resolution.
Oh, awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
Great job, both of you.
Yeah, we passed it.
And I just want to share with everyone, when I was in the state legislature, I was the original author of that legislation to eliminate it. So it's so wonderful to see action being taken.
Amen. Yep.
We got to keep working on that.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm member Latanya Gator, and I just have an announcement, if it is okay with this body. I am the chairperson of the Dearborn Heights Community and Cultural Relations Commission, and we are hosting our first Juneteenth event to be hosted on June the 19th from 11 to 2 at a local park in Dearborn Heights. So now that I am a women's commissioner, I would love the support of this body if you guys can make it. I believe I sent the email out to the secretary who sends the minutes and agenda, but I'll be happy to send it again so you guys know more details. And we also have a Facebook page. We're doing a lot with this commission. So I'm hoping that some of you or all of you can come. Thank you.
Please resend it. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Member Barnhill, you had your hand up for a second. Go ahead.
I did. This is just in regards to the last subject matter regarding meetings. I understand that our full body would meet once a month. However, once subcommittees are established, is there latitude for subcommittees to meet more frequently than once a month so that we do get this, our priorities identified and off the ground in these early days? And I'm submitted that question to either the chair or other leadership who could weigh in.
I absolutely think we should meet more because it's going to take time, we're not going to be able to just work on the fly. And so if we're not meeting outside of this meeting, we won't get a lot done, quite frankly. And I do think that, and that's why I was kind of trying to jumpstart this leadership into this COVID proposed committee. I mean, we can solidify who the leaders may be at the end of the day, but this issue is alive, and I don't think we should delay it another 30 days and then another 30 days, and then the money is gone, so to speak. So I do think that we do have to work with a sense of urgency. We do not have a lot of time, but that's it. So again, if someone else has a comment on moving to something differently, please speak. Go ahead, Member
Madam Chair, I'd like to just make one comment under we're in such other matters for E. I just want to say congratulations again for becoming our chairperson, and I know it's a lot to run your first meeting. And I think you're doing a great job, and we'll all get the hang of this.
Yeah.
And we'll all work together.
Back into this, yes.
We'll figure it out as we go along. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for electing me as chair. And I am looking forward to great things for the women of Wayne County. Thanks again, and if nothing further is to be said at this point. We're going to adjourn, and we'll see you next.
Madam Chair, we still have to do public comments. We were on item E, which is such other matters. So we need to move to item F, which is public comments.
Okay, I'm sorry, we may have more. Go ahead. There were some made. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut that short. Go ahead, if anyone has any public comments.
So for public comments, you'll just ask the clerk to unmute everyone's lines, and then you, Madam Chair, can ask if there's anyone from the public who wishes to make a comment to the Wayne County Women's Commission. And we usually ask 3 times, and then if there's no comments, then we can move on.
Okay.
Members of the public will have 2 minutes to make a comment.
Okay. Does anyone have a public comment to make at this time? Wayne County. I'm not sure what this person's name is, but Wayne County, go ahead and speak. 2 minutes, please.
Oh, no, Madam Chair, that's me. That's the clerk.
Oh, that is you. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So is there anyone else? Again, is there any public comments to be made at this time? And once again, for the 3rd time, any public comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll close that option.
Okay.
And then now we can move on to adjournment.
Yes, we're moving to item G, which is adjournment.
And I'll move to adjourn. Okay. And then you can just say all those in favor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great month until we see you again. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.